Well, hello, creatives, community, and kind folks. Welcome to RPG with DBJ. I am so sorry about the delays. Was having some issues, and I almost want to say it's related to today's subject. So today is the day of lost memories. So let me do the intro, fix whatever's on my side, and let's get into it. Well, hello, creatives, community, and kind folks. Welcome again to the Day of Lost Memories. Was having some computer issues. I think I want to apologize if we unfortunately get interrupted because I think I might have think I might have a I don't know, there a virus or something on the computer. Anyway, it was just shutting off intermittently. I don't know why that would is. Okay, but you're not here for that. You're here for to be to to be fulfilled, entertained, to be given a spark of knowledge, and for our tabletop role playing experiences. And today, this one is a little bit strange, and it actually came about because of yeah, Day of Lost Computer Memory. You hell right, you hells yes. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, yeah, it's like yeah, both a day of achieving happiness and then and popping a virus, yeah, of different types. Yeah, yeah, even computer porn won't save you from a virus. I guess that's the rule, I guess. um so actually today made me think of, and there's a very funny movie, the Hangover movies, but it made me go down a mental rabbit hole of lots of media when it comes to memory interactions and such. One of my favorite movies is Memento. It's a brilliant movie by by the uh, us geeks, um, and it made me think of a. It also made me think of like transhumanist and post-human science fiction, where when we get to the era in which technology allows us to alter memories, where we can alter them, shave them off, replace them, and things. And our memories, our experiences are so intrinsic with us that make us who we are, including the things that we wish we never experienced in the first place. It also makes me think of this is a great way to start an adventure, and a great way, a beginning point, if you have a lot of trust with your players, to come up with something. So the Day of Lost Memories could be a day where for 24 hours the players don't realize that they engaged in or had interactions with other people, and from this point forward they actually don't even remember having those things. It could also be that they have been blamed for something. The classic protagonist wakes up, they're blamed for the classic noir, they're blamed for a murder that they didn't commit, um, and they are both running from the authorities but also trying to figure out why it is that why they would be blamed for such a thing. Yeah, Scheisse, yeah, yeah. I like that. You see, okay, okay. So, Hunt says, Memento. Yeah, Andrew Wood did a great vid about a paladin who got turned into a ghoul, And as a ghoul, his memories would slowly start coming back to him, and he realized he was over 300 years old. And there's a there's a really cool but strange release when a player is able to release relinquishing the control they have. So classic fantasy players, they want to make a character. Hey, I'm a noble knight. I'm a skulking thief. I'm a wizard. Okay, whatever. But it is also something cool to have a player who says, you know what? My character thinks they're this way, but the truth is, even I, as a player, don't know my own character's background. That there are things that I've forgotten. I mean, this is a very common second stage creation technique where a player goes, well, I used to be this powerful or this great entity of some sort, but I've forgotten my entire past, and now I'm starting my character over at first level and then moving along and throughout the world. And it could be a little bit disconcerting for NPCs to walk up to the players to say that they've had specific interactions that the players don't remember, and now they have to kind of play along. And this is a very, this can get, you have to have a mature group that's willing to go along with something like this, because in a post-human, transhumanist, science fiction tabletop role-playing games, even your own memories may not be your own. So a player could have their memories of their childhood and growing up, and then maybe going into the special forces, and they're now just cyberized and stuff. And then all of a sudden they find out that, wait, I'm a clone and I've only been alive for 3 months. That doesn't make any sense. And so it can be a little bit disconcerting. Yeah. Thomas Anderson says you like in an AZA video, Conformity Capital, and their most popular ride, the memories of people allowing them to live in the past forever. I don't remember that, or something like that. And I've seen, like, for example, Twilight Zone and all its derivatives, Black Mirror, and everything in between also plays with memories as well. Yeah. The day of lost memories could come after they go carousing at the tavern. You don't remember? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You don't remember stealing a holy goat and marrying a Drider queen? And you're like, what? Will someone explain the chicken? That's a that's a deep cut from the Hangover movies. And by the way, the plot of the comedic Hangover movies is that all the participants in it are like, hey, let's go to Las Vegas and have a great time. And then they wake up the next day and have forgotten everything that happened the day before. And then they have to wind their way back, and they're also looking for their friend, because if they recall that, they can find their friend. Spoiler alert, he got locked on the roof of the building. But whatever the case might be, they go through, and then it's just like, it involves Mike Tyson and a naked Asian guy in the trunk of a car and a tattoo and blah blah, so on and so forth. Yeah, it's pretty wild, but cool too, because you're following them uncovering a thing. And it can be kind of confusing to try to do this as a like a storyteller or game master or something, but I also think it could be kind of fun. And a really fun way to do it is to have people write things down, and then you kind of mix them in a bag and pass them around, so that even you aren't being blamed for these strange memories, but other people are. Like, I would do it. What I would do is maybe do something like 3 mundane memories that people don't remember, but it's mundane. Like, I got a cup of coffee, and I purchased a brand new set of boots, and then you get like 2 that are kind of weird, and then you maybe 1 or more that's like really out there, and kind of mix and match it. Yeah. Shai says implanted memories, where all of a sudden you got laid in high school all the time. Yeah, some people implant those memories themselves. Uh, yeah. Yeah. As Zavora is the user that made the video if no one has seen it. I don't know that one, but I'll look it up. Yeah, it's a new dystopian future short film entirely generated by AI. Is it? I did not know that. I'm sure it's going to. People are scared of AI creating like media, but we all know that it always tends to flow towards the mean, towards the center. So Yeah, it'll work for a very very short amount of time. Drew says the SCP Foundation has great horror in that direction with the cognito hazards. I don't. Why am I not familiar with these things? But another thing that's really great about playing with memory is that you can memories allow us to both have a mystery and establish a basis for interaction that is assumed to have already been there. So an example is we all have the horror stories of the players who the adventure hooks come to the characters in the tavern and they don't grab on any of them and all they want to do is just hang around the tavern and randomly walk around the city and you've developed 50 story hooks to lead them out and they don't want to go, whereas when you have memory you have cognition effects where the players are like, well, I don't remember any of this, but all the people around them are starting to have, you know, they already have an interaction with the players. Hey, you're under arrest. Hey, you owe me money. Hey, remember last night? So on and so forth. And people are both congratulating them and thanking them and having conversations that the players have zero idea what the context is. That's a great way to say, no, it's already happened. This is a thing that's in the world. It is concrete. Just go along with it. Actually, it is a very intrinsic part of the Invisible Sun. Very expensive, was like $300 role playing game from Monte Cook Games, where our world is the world of the gray of non magic, and the players go back into the dream world, which for them is the real world, and despite the fact that they don't remember having left the dream world remembers them, and the players are tasked with creating the household that the players return to, but you're recreating it for the other people around you. So everyone gets to create like a person, place, or thing that's in your house. And you don't know what's going to be there because everyone else gets to decide. It's kind of a cool character creation background moment. Is it? Oh, I put a link in the general chat section of Discord. Okay, I'm going to risk calling that up in just a minute. Shai says in Within the Ring of Fire, Andrew had a hilarious satyr character who went out drinking, had 7 casks of wine, and the next day he said, "Well, I do remember vomiting on her back." Ow. Nasty. I love it. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Tons of info on methods of giving people amnesia. Ooh, ooh. There's a movie called Dark City that has almost has a physical representation of taking in the movie Dark City, all the residents at midnight pass out, and there's like an alien entities that go around and take people's memories and start switching and um, combining them and transferring them from one person to another. And one of the main characters wakes up and realizes that they're a serial killer, but it was because he passed out at night, woke back up. They decided to put the serial killer in him, memories in him, and then reality went on from there. And it would be pretty interesting for the players to have to like they don't realize that they are maybe instrumental in the formation of the universe, or they are avatars of a war between the gods or something like that, or they were all part of a wizard's coven and they cast a spell that would imprison a powerful entity who's now trying to get back out, and they don't remember themselves doing it because they want to make sure the dead demigod is lost and forgotten. And unfortunately, they're trying to uncover the mystery of the thing that they wanted to prevent themselves from doing in the first place. Yeah, lots of great story ideas in here. And again, you got to have some people who are willing to do the thing. And let me see if I can. Okay, let's go to this. Let's see if it lets me log in here. Mm, 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 mm. Will it remember me? Sorry, trying to get into Discord. No, 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 no. Hmm. Do this later. All right, let's get in here. Let's see. Sorry, 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 sorry. You put it in the general. All right. Ah, I got it. Capital of Conformity, dystopian short films. I got it. There it is. Mm-mm-mm. I know it's going to spike because I'm already down in the boiler room. Boiler room. And bam. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Mm, mm, mm. Deadman says, like in the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game, you play as a Sith Lord in the first one who was vanquished and mind wiped and have to relearn everything. In the second, you play as a Sith Lord's apprentice who had become a Sith Lord before the start of the first game, who was defeated in the first game and then mind wiped. Um, and listen, I mean, I don't know how often you can do this, but I think this opens up I like to use the word vector every once in a while. This is a new vector of challenge and storytelling, I think, and to say, hey, you know everything I know about my character, and it doesn't need to be everything, right? This could have been, the player characters don't remember vanquishing an evil, and they just wake up. It's been 3 weeks later, and they're just like, well, I guess we can figure out what happened, and they find clues about who and what and the things that they've done, and then realize that they were instrumental in causing something. Now, mind you, you can start out small. The Fae party, where a lot of it was just more comedic, but they don't remember doing things. And of course, they see the chicken in the background, and one of them has a tattoo, and another one, is has somehow uh, had a number of lovers that are not in the same species and things, and you can have some fun with it, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Can I make my girlfriend forget what I said on Sunday? Yeah, the day of lost memories might be a day where like maybe there are little trinkets like I want them to forget what I did because I kind of did something wrong, right? Or or maybe both of us can forget what happened completely. So I'll take one and you take one. The movie. Um, Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Oh, I know I'm butchering the title of the movie, but that was a movie about two individuals that wanted to forget that they had an interaction and can't help, in kind of a dreamscapish kind of thing, can't help but remember that they are intrinsically connected and such. Um, there's a lot to do with that. There could be an big bad evil who's like, hey, we've been allies this whole time. Why are you fighting on the good guy's side? I thought this was just supposed to be a simple infiltration into the good guys. And the PCs are like, well, I am a good guy. And the evil person's like, no, you're not. You've been you've been a bad evil bastard this entire time. You're just faking it. A la um, the oh wow, the movie and story. Do androids dream of electronic sheep? Um, oh, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Why is my brain going? You guys know the movie I'm talking about. Um, and where he realizes that he's a deep cover, and ends up going to Mars as an undercover spy, and realizes. I mean that's also the idea that the player characters are that the big bad evil has been them the entire time, or at least they planned it, and then come to find out that the the portal to the nether realm, the alien invasion, the AI, the rogue AI that has escaped or whatever, that the players are actually the cause of it, and then realize like, oh shoot, it was our fault this entire time. You know, Thomas Anderson says that SCP has a whole line of drugs called amnesiacs, amnesitics, and are basically the chemical equivalent of the red light from the Men in Black. Which that might be a thing too. Maybe there's something very horror, Lovecraftian, Call of Cthulhu, something that you should never remember because if you do, it would drive you insane, which is the whole point of forgetting that the thing happened in the first place, which would be a very cool Lovecraftian uh, spiral circle of interaction that a thing happened that the players did that they have to forget before it happens again. There's another movie, Sphere. Uh, Scientists go to down in the deep ocean to find an alien artifact, a giant sphere that they find out came from the future, and then find out that that alien sphere is basically a wish machine. Anything that their subconscious mind comes up with is made manifest, and they realize that the earth isn't ready for this gift of sorts, and so they all decide to forget that it exists, which basically makes a big cycle back to the fact that it was forgotten in the first place and these people found it again, etc. Yeah, thanks, Thomas. Yeah, Discord has lost memories, thus you suffer not being able to trust to use it anymore. Yep, that's me. That's me. Actually, it comes from interaction, which is the problem. Drew says, I've forgotten more about RPGs than most people will ever learn about the hobby. Hells yeah. 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 As a matter of fact, some people forget where experience points came from and that experience points was never about murder killing the creatures. People misremember that kind of stuff. Thank you, Dead Man. Total Recall. The Arnie version, whole worlds better than the Colin Farrell one, but I get it, right? Everyone tries to do their own spin on a thing. But yes, Total Recall, where our protagonist is the bad guy. Technically, he was the bad guy in the movie. Um, well, he was one of the individuals that started the whole thing to uncover the mutants and shut them down and stuff like that. But I'm with Drew. I'm with Drew. Those old guys. Yeah. TA says, so that is a way of partially erasing the effects of said word. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Am I? Please let me know if I am back. Please let me know. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Just give me. Am I back? Yes. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, there we go. Because I missed a. Wow. How did I miss all this? Okay. All right. Phew. Yeah, I love that. TA. He's like, yeah, the movie with Arnie as a spy against the resistance on Mars gives those people air. Yep, exactly. Yeah. I hear you, Vince. It's like, oh, lost memories. Yeah. Attention deficit. Yeah, a lot of us have that. And I wonder if we play with the idea of lost memories, I wonder if there's a way to like I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Like to award the players the memories that they lost, and they almost become the reward that the player would like to have um at the end of the session, right? Like, okay, so it's the day of lost memories, so they've got to try to get them back as much as possible, and it's almost like a scavenger hunt in a way. Like the player's like, okay, if I remember, didn't I mean, they could play some fun with it, like, hey, my noble knight, don't I remember getting a holy avenger? And as you as the storyteller, game master, like, well, it is a rare sword, and you might have remembered where it's at. I don't know if you'd find it, but I'm sure you'd find a path to get to it if you can just remember who you talked to. You know, also kind of fun to have, have the preset, like, oh no, this NPC completely hates you now. Um, even though that they were your ally for six sessions, or the six games beforehand, and then have to uncover, okay, well, what did I do? How do I fix the thing? You know, that kind of stuff. Especially if the players are like are end up being allies with like enemies or things like that. They've got strange objects in their pockets that they don't understand. I don't think I sent it a waveform. I think my computer has a virus on it and it's spiked. I'm gonna have to do a hard reboot, and because I ran a just before I went live, I had to run my um I did a diagnostic and it didn't nothing popped, but that's the whole point of having a virus, right? You can't find it. Yeah, Shai said, if XP was never about murder killing, was it mostly about treasure? They did tell DMs to give XP bonuses for good role playing, right? Yes. I'm going to find that quote. I have the 1994, 95 book that it came out of. Most people think that when XP was given for gold, it was about greed, and then it was given for monsters because it was about murder killing, and neither one of those were true. I mean, it was about treasure, but it wasn't about greed. It was about establishing. In order for your thoughts and desires and dreams to be manifested, you needed gold to do it. And then, so why would good characters be greedy? They weren't. They were trying to create strongholds against the evil that was out in the wilderness, because essentially it was either you were in the goodly lands of villages and towns and cities, or you were in the evil, wild, unfettered lands in the wilderness, in the dungeons and such. And so in order to defend people, you had to, you know, you clean a dungeon out, but that's not permanent. You have to set up people to protect and make sure no one goes into the dungeon. You got to hire people, and then you start making forts and all that kind of stuff. Religious characters, temples to deities, wizards for wizards towers, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I like that. One Eye Heathen says PC's on trial and need to recover memories of an event to exonerate themselves. That, and again, we've got a lot of media examples of that, where someone awakens and they don't realize, like, oh, I woke up and apparently I'm a serial killer, right? I don't have a memory of a thing that happened, and I need to claim my innocence, or the person is like starts to question themselves, like, well, wait a minute, it am I really guilty of performing this thing or doing this thing? But I like it. And yes, part of it is kind of fun with the Hangover series, but also something very common in like altered carbon, post-humanist, transhumanist um, role-playing games is the idea that maybe your memories aren't your own, and to find out that you are a copy of someone else. There's a introduction introductory adventure in Eclipse Phase called Ego Hunter, Mind Hunter, Ego Hunter, something like that. And all the player characters think that they are different, but come to find out that they're all fragments of the same personality of a person who is the big bad, who is trying to delete and or reassemble the fragments of their personality back into themselves. And so the players are all basically have different memories, but they're actually the memories of one person. And it's kind of cool. It's like it lets you know that it's not just you can't just order yourself to have a physical difference off of a shelf, but your memories, you may not even be able to trust your own memories. And that can be kind of confusing for players in a game where it's like, oh, well, my memories and my character is sacrosanct. Everything else in the world, dungeon master, you control, but my character is immutable in many ways, and memories are one of those things that can be a little bit dangerous to do. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, Vince says the method was not important. You could avoid all the monsters and traps if you want. Only the result mattered, and that's exactly right. The idea of gold for experience points came about because the difficulty of getting the gold was the adventure. How do you who First of all, how do you carry 500 pounds of anything valuable? Well, you don't. You have gems and art, pieces of art and things that might be lighter. And then it wasn't defeating the monster, it was maybe negotiating with them or tricking them or distracting them. And that was the goal, right? Because most straight up fights were pretty brutal. Um, and so, yeah. And so XP is about experience. Yep. I gave partial experience for attempts that even failed. Yeah, experience was supposed to be given out. Actually, if I'm going to end up finding, it's going to take me a little bit to find it right now, but it even suggested giving out experience points not for the enemies, but for the perceived danger of the enemies. So it said, let's say you had 5 goblins, but the PCs thought there were 50. If the PCs believed there were 50, you should give out experience points for 50 goblins because they were confronting the challenge of 50 goblins, even though you never wrote down 50 of them. And so, yeah, that's exactly how it works. Vince says, I personally would give more XP for failure because when you fail, you usually learn the most. There are some role playing games that do that. I think a version of Call of Cthulhu does that. That every time you fail a skill check, you put like a check mark next to that skill, and you get to basically roll dice to try to enhance it. So, and that ends up making an upper limit on the skills that you use, because if you're like at 75-80% skill, you have a greater chance of success than failure. And it also encouraged people to use skills that they don't normally use, knowing they might fail, to get an improvement on them. So it also and it fed into the horror trope of people trying skills and failing them. So it fell into that. It kind of encouraged people to do things that might not work. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, me too. He's gonna have to use my backup to restore it. Yes, you are back 5 by 5. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got my backup drive and everything. Yeah, let's do it from that. True. It depends on how personally important the failure is for your character. If he rarely fails, it would have a bigger impact than someone who is used to it. Yep, yep. Plot. They dead man a plot twist. The Holy Avenger is another name for the Master Sword from the Legend of Zelda. Yeah, plot twist. Wait, what? Yeah. Also, the Day of Lost Memories may be something that the players, if you don't want to go so far as, if the players are uncomfortable with the idea of playing with their own backgrounds and what they remember, even if it's something minor, it could be the players having to help NPCs regain the memories of a thing that they've done or haven't done, and then going around trying to get them, especially if those memories are made physically manifest. Then you could kind of make these like really cool MacGuffins where people are buying, trading, and selling, and extorting memories on the open market for individuals or something, especially in a very arcane type of city, and the players are trying to go around and find them. That'd be like kind of cool too. Kick on the task manager. I'm with you there on that one. Yeah. The real treasure were the memories we made along the way. Oh, that sounds so nice. Which, in a way, it does bring up the point of while memories, as ephemeral as memories may be, because many times we forget things. There's actually a Robin Williams movie, sci-fi movie, and it's not comedic at all. I don't remember the name of it, but he's an individual who put when people pass away, he puts together a uh, a truncated montage of the person's life, because in this world individuals have these implants where everything they see and experience is recorded. And he ends up getting pulled into this dark noir where he's going into someone's memories who's passed away and sees something he shouldn't have seen. But now, because he has one of the implants, he sees it. So now it's in his head, whether he likes it or not. And I remember there's a an offsides but funny interaction he has where someone comes to him and is at a funeral and is like, yeah, but the boat was green. And he's like, the boat wasn't blue. And he's trying to explain, yeah, but that's that person's memories. And he's like, yeah, but they didn't see that. It was green. I remember it being green. I think you're wrong. It wasn't blue. It was green. And he's like, it's trying to wheedle, maneuver his way out, because sometimes our memories aren't as good as the actual video information that might be taken stuff. Lost and Found on a Day of Lost Memories, the DBJ story. Yep. Hell, I've forgotten so much stuff. Man, I honestly wish I could remember more from my childhood, and I just don't. It's weird. Day of Lost Memories, the only day where you can access what you have forgotten. Oh, that's where my keys are. Maybe, yeah. The only day. Yeah, all those people that's like, I remember, but I can't forget. And now everyone's like, everyone's running down the street. I remember my keys. That's where my other sock went. That kind of stuff. Yeah. Shai says Oblivion and the Moon had themes of implanted memories to hide that the heroes were clones. Yes, absolutely. Oblivion, beautiful movie, although they gave away an important plot point in the in the trailers where they had Morgan Freeman in it, and I was just like, oh, they ruined it. But yeah, Oblivion. Plot. Spoiler alert: clones and memories and altered information. It can also make some player characters feel a little bit insignificant if they find out, like, oh, wait a minute, I'm the replacement clone for the badass who was supposed to be me that I thought was And it happened again. God damn it. Sorry about that, guys. And okay, and my chat's back. Whew. There we go. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know where it came from, and it's probably on my fifth or sixth OnlyFans or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm being dumbass. But maybe this is a good time to um. Oh man. uh, I'm there with you. I'm actually there with you there, Drew. I think like Oblivion was a movie that should have been a short story, stretched into a short story. Some of the best sh- short clips have been expanded into movies. One of the worst ones is Black Box or something like that. It was a Twilight Zone thing where a guy comes to these people and it's like, hey, if you press the button, someone you someone you don't know will die, but we'll give you $1 million. And the couple's arguing over it, and they're like, sure. They open up the box, there's nothing in it, whatever, but there's a button on the top. Decide to press the button. Guy shows up, gives them $1 million, and just before he leaves, they're like, yeah, we're rich as everything. And the family's like, oh, wait a minute, where you what are you gonna do with the box? And he's like, well, I suggest you spend the money and enjoy it now because I'm going to take this box to somebody you don't know. And that was the big send off for that. Thank you, Vince. Vince says it's the movie you told about with Robin Williams is called The Final Cut from 2004. Yes, it is a dark noir, um, post-humanist kind of thing. There are people who are protesting having these devices that record all of your life experiences and such. I don't know. I just remember them having like wearing like black um, coverings or spray painting her eyes or something like it was weird. It was really weird. Yeah, yeah, and I think also Oblivion looked really good. The cinematography for it and everything like that. I think it looked really good, but it was stretched. It had a thin concept that was stretched out. So, yep, yeah. I mean, it looks. Yep, but yes, it was kind of flawed. I agree with you. Mm-mm-mm. I agree. So anyway, I'm cutting it short now because I'm gonna have to. I gotta head off to work, come back, do all the computer stuff because I don't want to be get kicked off of this yet again. So guys, have a great one. Again, talking about the Day of Lost Memories, and you can have some fun with it. Again, the comedic versions of the Hangover movies and such, but we have a lot of um, things we can take from. And like I said, on a Day of Lost Memories, even if the players don't want to involve themselves in it, they could be trying to reestablish the memories of other people, or strangely enough, the connections that they've made with the NPCs in your setting, it could be that those people have forgotten the player characters, and it feels like they're starting from day one again, which kind of a reset, which would also be kind of interesting as well, especially if the players have really navigated their way through your setting and made a lot of changes, and now the peace treaties are forgotten, NPCs are not uh, haven't befriended the player characters because they're like, I don't remember ever meeting you before. Those kind of things would be pretty interesting too. Memories of a Lost Stream on the Retribution of Monday. Yeah. Oh man. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Everyone have a great one. Let's all get out of here. And thank you very much for spending your valuable time here. Um, have a great day and happy gaming. Peace.